Hello, welcome to He's Hot, but Something's Off. Okay, I hope you're all watching the YouTube version, the video version of this podcast, available on my YouTube channel, Just Joey T. I'm making some lighting adjustments. It's been bugging me that this wall behind me that I podcast in front of it's fine that it's a plain wall. You know, I've got a shelf there. This is the shelf that's beside the entrance to my apartment. And then to my other side is a fake bamboo tree from IKEA. But otherwise, between these two objects, it's just this like plain white wall. And it was like a dark wall without any lighting. And it's been bugging me for quite some time now how ugly the background looks on the podcast. I talked about, I think on the last episode, the episode before, about all the various backgrounds I've had. And I've decided to do something about the ugly gray background. I described it. I was on AI and I was asking AI for suggestions about how to spruce up the background of my video podcast. And the way I described it was, you know, I'm well lit. I've got a ring light and I've got a box light, right, kind of just behind the camera. So I look good, I think. But the wall behind me is not lit. And I told ChatGPT that it looks like I'm in a dark basement. Which I'm not. I don't have a basement. This is just my apartment. But I got this LED light that I put on the floor right in front of the wall behind me. So if you're watching the video version, haven't edited this video as I'm still recording it right now. So it looks okay. It doesn't look like I'm in a dark ass room now, right? There's a little bit of light on that wall behind me. I can kind of see in the monitor on my camera. So yeah, I'm gonna tweak it, but I really wanted not a nicer setup per se. You know, I've got a very nice recorder / mixer that I got secondhand on eBay, which is how just about every episode of the podcast is recorded via this one piece of equipment. It has the intro music. It does the recording, it throws it onto an SD card. My mic is connected to it. It's like a super awesome handy piece of equipment. So it's my ride or die. That's like the one core piece of podcasting equipment. The ring light that is in front of me, I've had it forever. I didn't buy it for podcasting. I got it I did get it for my YouTube. You know, on my YouTube for quite a few years now, I'll do videos where I just sit down in front of the camera and I just talk at the camera. And, you know, I don't do tons of those, but like there's like a few every year on my YouTube channel where it's my living room and I just sit in front of the camera, and I got the ring light for that. It was my first attempt to get some sort of lighting to spruce up my YouTube videos. I got that, it's actually been about like 7 or 8 years since I got this ring light from Amazon. And then more recently, I had a fan who was very generous and bought me some softbox lights as a gift from Amazon, and that was just like a couple of years ago, and that's the lighting that you are seeing now. So I want to upgrade the lighting, especially with the big announcement that I've been teasing. You know, I want it to look good for that big announcement, even though only 3 of you are listening or watching the YouTube episodes. But yeah, let me know what you think of, if you have ideas for how I can spruce up this background. There's a lot of art that's behind there's a lot of art on the walls that's behind the camera. So if you go back to my video podcast episodes from early this year, and then you see there's some art that's in the background of those episodes, and there are 3-letter airport codes for different airports in different places. So probably the one that you saw, the big red one, and it says BCN on it, that's the airport 3-letter code for Barcelona. So I'm actually staring at it right now. I'm just on the other side of that table where I recorded those old episodes. I won't bore you with the complicated OCD, very Joey specific reasons why that's not my background anymore. And I don't think that's of entertainment value to anyone. But yeah, this is going to be like the new background, what you see right now. I want to put something on the walls, but I don't want to put a lot of stuff on the wall. I just want to spruce it up like a little bit so that it just doesn't look, maybe the light is enough. What do you think? So I've got the light there. I think the light is okay. I've got this shelving unit that I'm going to clean up a little bit. You can see all my vitamins on there. That's always been my vitamins shelf. But I think maybe I should put my vitamins somewhere else and make that one shelf on that shelving unit look a little nicer, not just like a bunch of pill bottles. And the fake IKEA bamboo thing is probably going to stay. But yeah, let me know if you have some ideas for like a light sprucing up. I don't want to hang up a whole bunch of really crazy looking art behind me for the background for the podcast. But the focus, I'm the star. I'm always the star. Okay. Oh, anyways, yeah, let me know. But yeah, very excited about this. If you are subscribed to my Patreon and you've listened to the uncut episodes, you know what the announcement is because I did a special uncut episode specifically about this thing quite a few weeks ago, back in like July or early August. So the Patreon listeners and subscribers already know, but I'm working so hard a lot of the days to not just launch this one thing, which I'm really excited to launch, but also my skincare line. I used to run ads for my skincare line on the podcast. If you go back to like the ones earlier this year, you'll see their ads that were like edited into the podcast episodes. One day, once we've done the relaunch, I've had to do a relaunch and a rebrand and all of that. I think maybe once we possibly, I'll talk more about it when we launch, but we're going to relaunch in November. We're hitting some milestones, but oh man, it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And I just got an email today from the lab that's making the skincare products. Like, hey, like the truck didn't come again to pick up the stuff to like deliver to Amazon. So it's just little things like that. But keeping very busy. The skincare thing is gonna relaunch in November. Please don't quote me on that because I just need to stay like very flexible and very like taking it day by day with it. You would think, hey, this massive business, you must have everything planned down to the T. Yes and no. One of the things I'm learning is when you're starting a business for like the first time or like going into an industry for the first time, you are learning so much. But the thing is, you're gonna make mistakes. And part of that means you kind of got to be really, really agile. You got to kind of take things one day at a time. You can, when you don't have that much experience, if you try to plan everything out, things are going to happen that derail you. And depending on the type of person you are, that could be demotivating when all these kind of random landmines just pop up out of nowhere when you're driving around this road that you plan to drive down. And that's something I'm learning as well is yes, have plans, but just know that things are going to happen that's out of your control and you have to deal with it. And for me, when I do like to plan things, I live in spreadsheets. There's certain things though that if you plan out something too much for certain things, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment because then inevitably there's certain things that are not going to go to plan. And you're the type of person a little like me where when something doesn't go to plan and you're expecting it to, little surprises pop up, then it gets a bit demotivating because it just feels like things are going off the rails when that's not necessarily the case. So yeah. I'm very excited to do the skincare relaunch. It was a very expensive lesson the first time I do the launch. Anyways, the relaunch should be coming up in November. And one exciting thing I'm doing for the relaunch is we need to advertise, obviously. And I'm working with a marketing agency for the relaunch, and like the first go around. And, we're going to, well, I'm going to basically, I'm going to create, a bunch of content for the marketing effort. So we need photos and videos for the social media. We're going to need that for the website as well. And we're going to need it for ads that we run on wherever you run ads nowadays. So I've got this idea to do a photo shoot, and I have it in my head, like what the visual concept is going to look like. So I actually yesterday posted an Instagram story just to start finding models for this photo shoot. So this is going to be the launch photo shoot campaign. Basically, when we relaunch, this is going to be like the primary set of photos and videos from this particular shoot that I'm going to use for the launch. So I'm super excited about that. I've got certain people that I know that when I had this idea, I was like, oh, this is what I want that ad campaign to look like, the visual style and everything. Oh, these people would be perfect for that. So I posted on my Instagram story yesterday, like casting call type of a thing. And I actually reached out to a couple of people I know, and I just told them, hey, I think you'd be great for this. Like, if you're interested, let me know, or if you want more information. So that part's very exciting. Initially, I thought, oh, maybe I can just take the photos myself in like my house. But I'm going to rent a studio space. Apparently that's a thing, which for me is great. Like a proper studio space for like, I don't know, 50 or $100 an hour. You can go rent a space where, it's like a proper studio space. They've got like a proper like white background, and they have proper lighting and things like that. So that's going to be great. We'll get a photographer as well. But I'm very excited for the relaunch. I'm excited how it's going to turn out. Yeah. And in addition to this new thing that I'm going to launch, I'm going to have to stop talking around it, because it's so annoying when someone keeps talking about something they're going to announce and they don't announce it, right? So, okay, I'll put a pin on that. But yeah, I'm just so swamped and busy these days. This is the first time in my life that I've ever wanted to cut back on gym time. I've never ever wanted to cut back on gym time before in my life. Oh, I tell you guys some tea. I mean, I haven't worked there in ages, so it doesn't matter. Back in like my final like one or 2 years at Google, I used to leave the office early to go to the gym. It's not like I leave at lunch. Well, because when you go to the gym at 5-ish, how most people would go right after they leave the office. You might leave the office at like 4 or 5. And when you go to the gym at that rush hour time, it's rush hour, literally. So, and it doesn't let up until 8:30 or 9. Back when I used to live in San Francisco, like many, many, many years ago, I would used to go to the gym at like 8:30 or like 8:30-ish, something like that, because I didn't want to go during rush hour. I didn't want to have to wait around for equipment and have it just be super busy at the gym. And I was still working. That was before I started leaving the office early. Like my final 1 or so years, I didn't do it every single day, but there'd be like a couple of days of the week where, I knew that like it was fine, and I still had on my phone. So if someone needed to like reach me, like they can still reach me. I had my phone. But like, yeah, I would leave the office at like 2:30 or 3. I didn't show. I came to work at like 8:30, which is like I don't. That's a standard-ish time. So it's not like I was leaving at 12. It's not like I was just doing the half day, and it wasn't every day of the week. But there were like pretty regularly, like a couple of times a week. If I could, I would leave at like 2:30 or 3, and then I could get to the gym at like. I think I just went direct. I just went directly from the office to the gym. So I get a gym at like 3:30. And it was nice because I can get my full workout in before rush hour. And then I have like the rest of the night to like just be home to like do whatever. So I do have a history of cutting work/school. I remember in high school, I/some of my friends, this was junior high or senior high, we knew there were certain courses where we could just not show up because of like the teacher and how lax they were and like the type of class it was. We had some of us had drafting class, drafting us in like technical drawing of things. So it was an elective, and some of us took drafting, and the teacher was really lax. He was a super cool guy. He knew what he was doing, but like he was very like chill and mellow, and the drafting was, for us, it was like very easy to do. For like the average high school student, I'm totally just reading people now. For the average high school student, it was whatever. But like me and a couple of my friends were more like technically minded. Like for me, it was like very easy to just like blast through the work to the point that we didn't really need to be there every single day that we were scheduled to be in that class. And I think there were like 1 or 2 semesters where drafting was the class before the lunch break, and we would often just cut that class. I remember friends and I in junior high, before any of us had cars, sometimes we would just take the bus up to one of like the malls, like one of the local malls. This is like years ago when going to malls were like the cool thing for kids to do, like high school kids. So we would cut class. The thing is, we would cut class not to even do anything specific. We would just like go to the mall and just hang out and have like a leisurely lunch. I remember on Tuesdays, we would cut that class that was right before lunch. And it was Toonie Tuesday at KFC. So this is up in Canada, okay? In Canada, they have $1 coins and $2 coins. In the US, you only get coins for anything that's less than $1, like a quarter, a dime, a nickel, or penny. But in Canada, you don't get bills until you hit $5. Okay, you have $5 bill, $10 bill, whatever. But for $1 and $2, you got coins. A $1 coin is called a loonie. And they've had the loonie for quite a while. The $2 coin is called the toonie. And that was like relatively new. It came in like, I think they introduced it in like the 90s. So you had like $1 coin and $2 coin. And on Tuesdays, we would go to the food court that was at the mall. And they had a KFC at the food court. And KFC, it would be Toonie Tuesdays at KFC. And it was like $2 for like a 2-piece and like a coleslaw or fries. There's some sort of like $2 deal. Obviously, for $2 to get you any amount of chicken these days is impossible. But like way back when I was in high school, we would cut class. We would go. It'd be Toonie Tuesday. It'd be like a 2-piece and some fries, and like a little bit of coleslaw, something like that. I would always get the honey mustard dip for the fries instead of the ketchup. It was just like I just preferred it. That was like the thing we looked forward to on Tuesdays. And sometimes we just had regular lunch. We didn't skip class. And we would walk over to, I don't know, there's like an area that was like a 10-15 minute walk away from school. And there's a 7-Eleven there. 7-Eleven, like right on the corner. And we would get slushies. My friends would get the proper size slushies with like the dome cap. I would get the small slushie, like the small cup, like this yellow small cup with like the flat lid. Just up the road from the 7-Eleven, there was a pizza place, like a little mom and pop pizza place. I don't even remember what the name is, but it was like literally just like 4 or 5 storefronts up from that 7-Eleven on this like major road. There's this mom and pop pizza place, and it was the greasiest pizza you could ever imagine. And they sold pizza by the slice. It was like this massive slice. It would be like drenched in oil, but it was delicious. I can still, if I close my eyes, I can still imagine what that pizza tasted like. Yeah, so when I was in high school, that's what we did. We cut class, and we went to 7-Eleven, had slushies, and sometimes we went to that super greasy pizza place. I think because the mom and pop, like the couple that ran that place, they weren't like a super old couple. At least not like back then when we were there. They weren't like a super old couple. I wonder if they were actually Italian. They definitely had like some sort of European accent, and they recognized us because we went there probably like once or twice a week. Once or twice a week during high school. That was before we had cars. And then I remember senior high, like over the summer, when we started senior high, a couple of us had gotten cars over the summer, and I was one of them. And obviously, instead of taking the bus, we'd be driving. We still kind of classify. We like drive to the mall, still be doing the Toonie Tuesdays and whatever. We never did anything. I don't know. We didn't cut class for any good reason. We cut class because we didn't even hate class. Like, I didn't hate drafting. It was fine. I was fine to just like chill in front of the computer and like use the CAD software and be drawing stuff. It was easy for me. I think I just did it because like the other kids are doing it. You know, like when you're in high school, like you just do what other kids do just to be like cool and fit in, even though that's not the explicit, you don't know really explicitly at the front of your mind why you're doing it, but like, oh, like, you know, like so and so are doing it, like my friends are doing it, so I just tagged along and I was doing it too. Yeah, I don't know how we got from podcasting to eating super greasy pizza and slushies during my high school years. But yeah, I love telling stories from my past because I think a lot of you guys, sometimes you guys give me good feedback about like, oh, it's interesting to hear what your time was like when you were in school or in college or like earlier on in your career. And like this, I feel like a lot of people can kind of identify with, oh yeah, when I was high school, I did this and I did that. High school was easy for me, but like high school was too easy academically for me, I think, because I didn't know what it was like to really do hard academic work until I went to university, and I almost flunked the first year of college. I was so close to flunking this one course that I had to pass. I think I've mentioned it. Well, basically, it was Math 102, which is integral calculus, and I took calculus. I took pre-calc in high school, but like the teacher made it too easy. Okay, you know what the stupid thing is? I apparently learned algebra in high school. Like kids learn algebra in high school. That's not like a university, a college thing. I knew I learned algebra in high school. Somehow, it completely left all my algebra left my brain between high school and college. When I got to college, they just assumed you knew algebra because that's the high school thing to learn. And I was in first year engineering. It wasn't like I was in first year fine arts. I was in engineering school of applied science, and I forgot how to do algebra completely. I didn't even know oh my God, it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. I remember Math 101, which was differential calculus, and we had that in the first semester of the first year. And that was like, okay. But like when I was doing that course, I was like, oh my God, I don't know how to do this algebra. This isn't even calculus yet. It's just the algebra part. I have like completely forgotten how to do it. I don't know how, but I completely forgot. So I had to like relearn it somehow. And then, yeah, Math 102 in the second semester, the integrals, that completely shafted me, completely comprehensively. And that was when I like really super started to like take it really seriously and buckle. Not that I wasn't taking it seriously, but I think I was like a little too much like happy-go-lucky mode going into college. It just felt like, oh yeah, I was always getting like A's and maybe some B's in like high school. Like I aced my final year of like math, of chemistry, of physics. I did pre-calc. I was like, I should be like, I think I'm pretty good. And then I went to college, it was like, hells no. Like, I felt like it was not cutting it. So I don't think I was very well prepared. And I can't even blame school because there were other people from my school. There were a couple people from my school that also went to first year engineering at UBC at the same time as me. And they knew what they were doing. We went to the same high school and we took the same math and science courses for years. And they go into first year engineering at the same school as me at the same time. And we're all taking the exact same. Some of them, they were my classmates in first year engineering. Like, and that's how I knew them. Like, like, oh yeah, like we went to the same high school, blah, blah, blah. And it was me that was like, oh my God, I don't even know how to do algebra. How bad that is. Anyways, for more embarrassing stories from my high school and college years, I feel I spent 6 years doing college, and 2 of those years were internships, or they call them co-ops at UBC. So it was like the 4-year undergrad, and then instead of I didn't really have summer break. I just did internships, but I did 2 years worth of internships. So in total, I did 6 years it took 6 years to do my degree, but like I voluntarily essentially wanted to like do as many internships as possible. But yeah, there are quite a few stories from my college days that I should start metering them out on the podcast. They were not super wild stories. I was not a super wild kid in college. But it's like basically that first year after the calculus nearly flunking first year engineering debacle, I really like clamped down and I studied like really hard because the math only got more and more intense. Do you know what linear algebra is? It's fucking bullshit. Okay. All this like advanced math, it's like calculate the volume of this like weirdly shaped cone. Eventually, I learned that engineering, being a professional engineer, was not gonna be my thing. But yeah, I've got some like stories here and there. I definitely had some crushes. Oh, I need to tell you guys about Alvin. This is like a really big crush I had. Unfortunately, we're out of time today. There's no time limit for this podcast, but when I say time's up on the podcast and the time is up on this podcast, I should probably save the Alvin story for my uncut episodes on my Patreon, which you can all subscribe to. If you'd love to help me, you know what y'all should help me with? This LED light that I bought behind me, that was like $100. So if you would like to support me and have more quality entertainment, if you can call this entertainment, please go over to my Patreon. It's linked down below. For just $3 a month, you could get all of the uncut episodes, which are the extra episodes I do every week. And if you pay is it $6 or $7? For $6 or $7, I don't remember the exact pricing for that mid-tier level, you also get access to all of the travel vlogs that I post nearly every week. Right now, the travel vlog that is showing right now, the travel vlogs that are being uploaded lately, are from my Asia trip to Bangkok and Singapore that I just went on in August. Part 3 just went up this past Tuesday. And if you subscribe to the mid-tier Magnet level or up, you get access to every single travel vlog that I've ever posted. The previous one I did from EDC, that was so much fun to like edit and watch as well. But yeah, go check out my Patreon and please tip me or pay me money so I can keep sprucing up. Decor isn't free. Decor isn't free. Okay, what else can I say to convince you people to spend more money on me? Okay, well, anyways, yeah, go subscribe to the Patreon, get some content. Please support me, and until next time, bye, y'all.